Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the top 10 troops that don't really need leveling in order for them to be good. These troops are going to be assuming the troops are around level 5 to 10, have no traits, and that they have no kingdom bonuses at all is what I'm using to determine these top 10. So let's just get into them. First off, right off the bat, we have Lamia. Lamia, you don't really see her that much in late game, but early on, she is really good. She charms a random enemy, which means she, whatever target gets charmed, they just do their attack damage to the person above and below them. And if that happens to kill, she gains all of her mana back. She gains 8, and that's all of her mana. What makes her particularly good is the fact that Luther, the first epic that you get from completing the very first kingdom, a lot of people use that early on in the game, and she is the biggest hard counter in the entire game for countering Luther. So she's very strong early on. And since she doesn't have any magic at all, her ability doesn't scale on magic at all. That gain isn't based on her magic. They just happen to both be 8. So even if you have 0 magic, she's still doing exactly the same. You put her in like 2nd or 3rd slot and you're good to go. With a lot of these, something else to mention is they will most likely be good in 3rd slot. Most of these assume that at least the first troop in your lineup is going to be leveled, but everything else may not be, is also what I'm assuming with these, which kind of goes into the second one of number 9. We have 2 of them. Both are based on extra turn if you have 13 or more gems. Of course, this is a little bit hard to get, but consoles, you guys are still on 10, so these 2 are a lot more powerful there. But what they do is they're very simple. They don't really need that much leveling. You put something like either of these in a 3rd slot, and with Direwolf, you'll be placing a 100 mark. That means 2 times skull damage, and that's only 6 mana. So you'll be doing your lead troop will be doing 2 times skull damage, just with this of Direwolf, which is very easy to do. You just set them in 3rd slot, only level them up to about 5, and you're good to go. Same basic premise with Ezra, something in the 1st slot with a high attack. All you have to do is use his 1 skull spawn that he gets and use it somewhere where you'll be able to get a skull pair or something like that. And then your first troop will attack for you. It doesn't even matter how high you have your Ezra, because only the first troop will really matter. Of course, with these, why I say level 5 to 10 is you do want to level them some to make sure they don't die. You can't just keep them at like level 1. But you might not want to have to invest all of your souls into troops, especially early on. Next 2, we have, you might notice we have like a couple of them bunched up. This is mostly because they have very similar abilities. Like for these 2, it's because they both have a board, or not a board control, but a lineup control. They both actually switch up the lineup of the enemy team. With Dust Devil, he knocks whoever is in the first position to last. This is really good for countering skull spawn teams or anything with a really good lead troop, since you can just put them all the way to the back and make them fairly useless. He also has 5 damage at all levels. It doesn't matter what level he is. He could be level 1 or level 20. He will always have 5 damage, so that's another factor that makes him good at a very low level. Consoles, you guys don't have this guy, Kofishi. He pulls an enemy to first and then stuns them. So kind of similar to Dust Devil, but instead of moving the first position to last, he can just move whoever he wants to first and stun them on top of that. So no damage, but he also has nothing that scales off of magic and can still manipulate the board. Or not the board, but the enemy team. I keep saying that. Next up, we have pretty much every single troop with a convert spell. You could even put things like Valkyrie and other things in this category. The main reason I have these 3 in this list is because they aren't really level dependent at all for what they do. Nothing on Green Seer scales off a level, and Alchemist and Finley both only have gold that will be increasing based on their level. And since they already do converts, you're already going to pretty much get max gold from the 4 times and 5 times, giving you 4 and 5 gold. So the extra gold that they give is basically will go unnoticed, and you don't really need the extra levels on them to fully utilize it. Next up, we have both Chakra and Green Slime. Both of them create a bunch of gems and then converts all of that color to something else. With Chakra, he creates some reds and converts everything to skulls, or all the reds to skulls. And with Green Slime, it creates a bunch of greens and then converts all of those greens to purple. It does increase a random skill based on magic, but for the most part, this isn't like a make or break factor of the troop. It will normally hit something you don't even need anyway, so the extra magic amount won't really be a big deal. Next up, we have basically everything that can do multiple status effects. The first one we have up here is Chimera. Very, very popular early on, mostly because it has damage and poison and burn. Of course, at a lower level, it won't do as much damage, but poison plus burn is a lot of extra damage, especially early on. And since it hits healthiest, that means it'll hit whoever's on the enemy team who has the highest HP plus armor combination. It's not just whoever has the highest HP. It's the highest combination of both of them added together. And I would be hit by the damage, and most importantly, the poison and the burn. So even at like something like level 5 or even level 1, that poison and burn is going to be doing a lot of damage. That's the burn is 3 damage every turn until it gets cleansed. And poison is a 50% every single, or 50% chance every turn that it'll do 1 damage. And the only way to get it off is cleanse. With something like the Sand Cobra, it does 3 status effects. It is a random enemy, but 3 status effects. It's going to be really good at a low level, since that's not going to be increasing at all based on when it gets higher. Death, the main thing that actually makes Death really good at a lower level is the fact that he places Death Mark on everything. Of course, he would be doing more damage as his HP and magic is higher, but that's very, very little damage usually. The main thing that makes him deadly is his Death Mark to everything. So even at a low level, even at like 5-10, this thing can still basically function almost as if it's fully leveled like it is now. And Silent One, who does something similar, does status effects to everything, but it silences all the enemy. Kind of the same concept. Anything that can place all status effects are fairly good at lower levels, since the main factor of their attack is actually doing the status effect. And even more so with Silent One, it doesn't even use magic, and that can really help it at lower levels. You get the full potential of them at a lower level. And next up, we have every single troop that has a 3 times boost ratio. All 3 of these, there might be more, I forget if there's even more, but these 3 all have a ×3 boost ratio, which means even when they're at a lower level and have less damage, less stats, they're still going to be doing a lot of damage if you can get the board populated with what they do bonus on, like red for the lava elemental, yellow for Zephyrus, or brown for Barbarius. And similar with these, 2 times would also be very strong at lower levels. I just didn't put them anywhere on this list. Things like Rowan, and I actually forget a lot of the 2 times, but you guys know most of them. Next up, we have Keeper of Souls. This is another one the gem converts. One of the reasons he's higher up is because kind of why Azarus was there, is he does skulls, and he can transform all skulls or transform all gems of a chosen color to skulls. So as long as your first troop is leveled, you can have your Keeper Souls at a very, very low level, and it'll still fully utilize its ability. And that will be really good against anything that has like buffed attack or just really high attack in general. You can just use 1 cast of Keeper of Souls, and even with a lower level, he'll still be able to do his full damage potential. Next up, we have Dryad. It does so many things, especially for a rare. This troop is only a rare. It gives 5 life to an ally, restores life, which means it's just a heal, this one. And this is actually what scales off its magic, and one of the reasons why it's so good is restore life isn't that good. And that's the only thing that's really increasing as you get it to a higher level as far as its magic is concerned. So even at a low level, you're still going to be doing give 5 life, give the ally barrier, and create 8 green gems. That alone is going to cover, that is already an amazing ability. And plus on top of that, you'll be getting some extra life, of course lower as you have a lower level and lower magic. But barrier, that's going to be good for scaling up as well. That'll just nullify 1 whole damage instance. You got the extra life, you got the little bit of heal, and you even have green gem spawn, which will help for extra turns or filling something up on this team. So all around, very, very powerful at a low level. And finally, I don't know if you guys can even guess this one. If you guys, let's see, can any of you guys think of what this might be? The one that I think is the best troop to use at a lower level is Merrill. The main reason for this is even at level 1, she still deals 6 true damage to everything. Not just the one enemy, everything. Every single enemy. That is 24 damage just on this alone. And 24 true damage too. That's not even physical damage. That's true damage, meaning it ignores armor and goes straight for the HP. And as soon as they hit 0 HP, of course, they die. And she also gains 6 attack regardless of what her magic is. So what does her magic do? It just increases how many gems she destroys. But at something like level 7, she only destroys like 6 gems. I think at level 1, she destroys 4 gems or something like that. If you don't have any kingdom bonuses. So still, even without that, she's still doing all that true damage, all that attack. Plus on top of that, she's even destroying a couple gems. So very, very powerful. I don't know if consoles have her yet, but if you guys get her sometime in the near future, make sure to get her. Definitely get her. Maybe even trade her if you can afford her, because her traits are somewhat decent too. One other thing to note about her is she has the highest base attack in the game. So even though at a lower level, like she'll be very, very easy to kill, but she does end up gaining a lot of attack. But anyways, that is my list of the top 10, or kind of more than 10 in a way, troops that are good at low level. If you have any other troops that you think are really good at low level that you wish to share, because I'm not in the early game and haven't been for a long while. So if you guys know of any other really good early game troops, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And that will wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.